won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You bet.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome into Wednesday's edition of Pregaming here on the Sports Money Network. That's where we bring it all together, you guys. We look at the lines all day. We're going to leverage cash flow. We're going to look at the splits, how the lines are moving from the sports books. We're going to look at trends and angles. We're going to try to come up with an informed winning betting strategy. That's what we do here on the Sports Money Network. And we are in the midst of an overhaul. I took a gamble this afternoon. My gamble was that I was going to get it right on the first shot. And by the time I uploaded the graphics, I realized I did not. So I'm trying to get there. It's been a minute since I spent some time doing something. I went completely the other direction. So sometimes they say I do it nice because I do it twice. That could very well be the case, but we'll get through it. This is kind of like a sneak peek of what's to come. I got to figure out a way to get this Instagram sized appropriately so that I don't have a giant head. It was like zoom super in. I already got a big head. I don't need Instagram to make it any bigger. So I got to figure that piece out. But that doesn't mean we don't have action back in the arena, the NHL that is here. And we've got a really nice card here to kick it off. Now, granted, they're coming back from the All-Star break, so I had to try to kind of maneuver a few angles I thought made some sense there. And we've got some trends to back it up. We'll go Flyers and Capitals, Sabres and Devils, the Jets and the Canucks. And what the hell? I got a multi-leg goal scoring prop. So we might as well talk about that as well. Then we're going to move into college basketball, talk St. Johnny's in UConn. Interesting stadium alert there. Texas A&M and the Pigs, the Hogs, Arkansas. Woo pig suey, as they say. We're going to look at Portland and Gonzaga, wrap it up with a big trend for Seattle and Pepperdine to get some WAC conference action going out there. And then we will bring it home in the NBA. I've got a mess on my hands is what I've got. Warriors and Grizzlies and Celtics and Nuggets to bring us home. I added a play. I'll share it with you guys here. I put it out there on Winnable as a way to get free plays, as a way to get text alert notifications. Excuse me. I flipped over to YouTube to see what the heck was going on. And there's EKD staring at me. Could only be so lucky. But it's going to be a fun show. Going to be a fun. I'm just going to get some picks out there and see if we can have a fun evening. It is Wednesday. We are rolling. I'm just trying to figure something out here. Just trying to figure this out. Bear with me. Uno momento, por favor. Huh. Well, I don't know. It is what it is. But hey, let's get after it. You guys know the deal. Let's attack this board. Let me kick it off with a couple of player props. Now, yesterday, we got a little work to do. We had a really great Monday. Gave a couple units back yesterday. That Cincinnati spot was just ugly. Man, it was super ugly. They were not covering the first half under. It looked like they might cover the full game under. And then it looked like they were going to win the game outright, and they got blown out. It was ugly. But I gave you guys that UMass road favorite fade. UMass is straight ass when they're on the road, and they lost outright 74-73. So certainly write that one down, highlight it, underline it, circle it, do whatever you got to do. But we don't want to miss a chance to fade UMass as a road favorite as they come down to the end of conference play. We'll see if that plays a part when it comes to the conference tournament there for the MAC. And Kentucky gets her done. A lot of people like that South Carolina spot, but that was all Kentucky all day. And then we finished her off. Tennessee's my underschool. Tennessee and Missouri. 144.5. Missouri gets us the under. Now, San Jose State, they won by 6. We had 6.5. We took the hook. And so as much as I hate that rhymes, the Knicks got busted up and blown right out of the gym. So that was a loser. And the Timberwolves, what a sad state of affairs. Man, both spots. The Timberwolves, no good, no bueno. And then the Lakers. Like, what a disgusting way to end the day. But we did cash our overnight Wake in Cash tennis play. So I do like that. I do feel good about that. Also, I did post. It's available for all members on the Sports Money community page there. The post page used to be called the community post. Now it's just a post. But I did post my golf action. Why is that important? Well, maybe you heard. Granted, it's 500. Just 500. Just 5-5. Mediocre 5-5. But we're up 4.6 units through 6 events. So much reduced. I spent the offseason trying to figure out how are we going to attack. There's money to be made out there. We don't have to let it sit for that long. It's correlated with the Kalshi betting that we've been getting involved with here. And so we went 1-1 in the Sony Open. Just a 0.85 units. Got the Amex. We went 0-2 in the American Express tournament. That hurt. That was a 2-unit loss. Farmers went 1-1, but we gained 2.85 units. Waste Management, we went 1-1, but we gained 1.05 units. Had an offer at Pebble Beach. Had a first round leader that would have been a banger, but he didn't get through for a quarter unit, and then we lost the other 2 plays. So 0-3 there, but finished off 2-1 at the Genesis Invitational this past weekend, including the Jack Knapp live spot that I gave you guys here. That was 4.1 units that we gained last weekend. So we're kicking now. We've got 5 golf tournaments down on the season. I put 3 plays out there, all plus money spots out there. The game plan, the change, the revamp was just looking at it saying, I mean, I love the home run as much as the next guy, but we're not getting first round leaders. We're not getting outright winners because of the guys like Scotty Scheffler, the volatility. I saw Scotty Scheffler in his first couple tournaments of the year. He's like +5 in the first round. And then he's progressively on his way to -2,500 by his 4th round on Sundays. I mean, that's the Scotty Scheffler era. So we're going to let Scotty have his, but we're going to get ours. And I made some revisions just by looking at my database with top 10 and top 20 golfers. And I've got 3 loaded up. And again, available for all Sports Money members, bronze, silver, or gold. It don't matter what. Just get out there and scoop up those plays because this tournament does start tomorrow morning, so you're going to want to be involved. Let's see, I've got a top 20 finish at just over 2-1. I've got a top 20 finish at around 1.6. And then I've got a parlay 2-player top 20 finish for +360. So I still like those guys for first round leaders. Probably not outrights here just because of the Scotty Scheffler era, but golf plays to be had. So let's get to it. You guys know the deal. No nonsense. No dicking around, as they say out here. We're going to smash that thumbs up button. We're going to get in here. We're going to fire off a bunch of plays. And then we're going to see if we can get paid and get it all done by the end of the night here. And apparently, I'm going to be back into refresh some graphics here. So in any event, let's take some time and smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. That's it. That's how simple it can be. Boy, my phone, I keep getting a call from an unknown number. I think I know who it is. I'm at that age, boys and girls. The old time to throw the scope in the back door and see what's going on. I am not looking forward to it, but anyhow, it's going to work out just fine, I'm sure. So let's get to it. Let's talk about this player prop parlay that I've got for the NHL. It's I think it's just 2 legs. Let me see. Let me pull it up. I ventured into a little gematria to come up with this player prop. I tried. I got a little something. I got a little trick up my sleeve here to see if we can't get this 3-player prop. 3 legs. 3. In fact, I love it. I love the way this thing looks here. I went Wyatt Johnson for the Dallas Stars. Why not? This guy produces. He's top power play. He's top line, top six forward. In a Dallas Stars team that couple guys from the Olympics. So, certainly Wyatt Johnston. He's a nice little plus 135. Also, what triggered him for me today was the steam that was coming in on this guy. He was plus 150 overnight. He's moved down to 130s now on some books. So I took some Wyatt Johnston, anytime goal scorer. I parlayed it with Elias Peterson. F. F. I thought the F was for female. Oh, they got a female on the team? Elias Peterson to get a goal for the Vancouver Canucks. Just felt like Olympic hockey snub for this guy. And look, when you look at Vancouver, they're playing the Winnipeg Jets. The recent medal of, what is it? The medal of, I don't know. Connor Hellebuck's not playing. He was out there last night getting his accolades, his kudos at the State of the Union address, but no Connor Hellebuck. I thought, hey, you know what? If there's ever going to be an edge to score against a Winnipeg Jets team, why not take Elias Peterson again? Top line, top power play. And then I went to the Jarman. Now there's a bunch of hockey players on this Edmonton Oilers team that did play in the Olympic Games, including Leon Draisaitl for Team Germany, but scored early in the tournament, scored the last game of the tournament. They were already getting blown out like 5-1 when he finally put his third goal of the tournament in there. So, I just thought, here's a guy that comes back. He's got Connor McDavid on the line. Canada's going to be upset. The players are going to be upset about what happened out there. Maybe they got a chip. Maybe that gives them an edge. Maybe that gives them a little extra swing, a little extra jump in their step. But I put the three together. Wyatt Johnston, Elias Peterson, and Leon Draisaitl. That's a Dallas Star, Wyatt Johnston, Elias Peterson for the Vancouver Canucks, and Leon Draisaitl. I got it at 19-1, like 1927. So almost 20-1 for a little. Yeah, Bo. God damn it. I was trying to get in touch. I want to talk some Gematria. I want to get involved there. I want to see what we can do and see if you can help me navigate the occult as it comes to firing off some of these winning plays. And I'll tell you, Peterson, +2. I think he's +245. Let me look. Yeah, +245. He is the young feller that falls under the black magic. So anyhow, disappointed about this graphic, King. It doesn't look anywhere like I designed it, but it's going to be similar. You're going to see something similar as we roll it out. The idea is that Instagram cuts off the corners, but they zoom in on the damn face, and that's no good. So I got to see. Gosh, I'm disappointed with the way that worked out. Don't get too often that I just throw a full-fledged foul ball and then chased it down too. Chased it down well over the foul tip line. And all right, what are you going to do? Can't dwell on it. Got to move forward. Can't look backwards. Let's talk some NHL and see if we can't find a way to get paid. You guys know the deal here. I added 2 spots. I might as well share them with you guys as well. I'll share them here with you guys. Let's talk about it, though. Let's get to it. Let's talk about this first game. Oh, man, I'm out of practice. I got to pull up. Take 2 weeks off. Forget it all. It all goes out the window. I got to pull up the old goalie report here. A couple goaltenders tonight that I am on board with here. First and foremost, I think we have to acknowledge the Tom Wilson effect. Tom Wilson for Team Canada, fucking goony as he is. Top line guy. Potentially going to be challenged with getting playing time tonight. So I like that. Anytime you weaken the top 6 from a team. Now, if you want to play the potential angle, potentially guys like Ovechkin are going to be pissed because they did not get the invite because they are Russians. The Russians, as hot as their women are cheaters when it comes to the blood testing sentiment out there. But this comes right back to the same fired off strategy that I deployed when we fired off the NBA coming out of the All-Star break. We can't measure rest advantage and disadvantage. And that's where I actually think when you look at this all-star, now we'll see how true this is, but when I was looking at the thought process of players coming into and out of this Olympic Games, the general public's going to say those players are tired. They just played in the Olympics. I'm going to beg to differ. This is an extended break. It wasn't just a traditional 3, 4, 5 day all-star break. I mean, these guys had like 2 weeks off, right? Now the players coming back, look, shout out to Pat McAfee covering the $150,000 bar tab at Club 11 down there in Miami for Team USA. But I actually think the advantage is to the guys that have been playing. You may say that sounds crazy. And I recognize that as I say that out loud. But I just think that you look at these younger guys that went down to Cancun with their girls and their boys and all that money being spent, and they just went after it. Nobody parties like hockey players party. That's just a fact. Unequivocal fact. They're the best athletes in the world. They're multi-talented. Anybody can run. Anybody can throw a ball. Can you skate and handle a puck? And they party harder than anybody. So cocktails galore when it comes down to these road trips. So I think that advantage lies with the guys like Austin Matthews, who was in the morning skate today for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Guy was just at the State of the Union yesterday. Today's, look at that guy's trajectory. He leaves Italy on Sunday, rolls down to Miami. They were supposed to roll into, I think, New York City, but the weather pushed him down to Miami. He's down at Club 11 all night in Miami. I mean, those guys weren't dressed to be in Miami. They went out, they shopped on it. They got their wallets and checkbooks out. Then they get on, Air Force Two or a military plane, a 747, I believe, and fly up to Washington, D.C. to be in the State of the Union last night. And then Austin Matthews flies down to Tampa, and he's going to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Now, I don't know how much minutes he gets, but does that sound like a dude that's tired? Hell no. That sounds like a dude that's fired up. And if you're around this guy that's now a gold medal champ, don't you think you want some of that to rub off on you? That being said, I think the Capitals pissed off again with an Ovechkin. The Russians not in the Olympics. That would have just made that much better a tournament had we in there. But that being said, we have a goaltender who was a primary backup to Jordan Binnington and Logan Thompson for the Washington Capitals. And we have Danny Vladar, who played for Team Czechia. Turkey and Czechia are two things that I just can't wrap my hands around. But look, Vladar was the backup to Dostal. And them boys played hard. They fought. So you got both goaltenders coming into this thing essentially in backup roles off the Olympics. But Vladar went into the Olympics cruising. I mean, for that matter, so did Thompson. So 2.60 in his last 10. Thompson, 2.29 his last 3. Again, a backup for Vladar. But yes, I think the greatest equalizer will be the fact that them boys had the Olympic break. Now, Capitals came in fire. Flyers already beat these boys once. Now you could say bounce back, revenge at home. I think it's too easy. It's too early for that kind of stuff right now. These guys are going to get their footing underneath them. And underdog teams equal long rest. I could only benchmark it according to the fact that I don't care which players. I already think the advantage is to the players that played in Italy. So that being said, that's a Flyer spot. That's a 34-14 Flyers spot there. First game back from the All-Star break, by the way, if you want to try to get something more tangible. This goes back 15 years. The road dog, 24-5. If they both had more than 7 days rest, and the team's win percentage is 50% or less. So the true dog, the shit dog, finds a way to come back. And that kind of goes back to what I said pre-All-Star break with teams like the Buffalo Sabres. Your advantage lies in the fact that teams just don't care about you. And so as a small dog at the plus 130-ish price tag, I'm going to fire away. Take the Philadelphia Flyers to open up the NHL cart. How about that? As we get her done, what do you guys think about that? Are you with me? Are you with me on these players coming back from the Olympic break? I know that there's time zone travel, but what are we talking about here? We're going to talk about this Buffalo Sabres squadron next. So we have that one came through. And we have this one. Just mad again about the graphics, you guys. I'll get it right the next time, or hopefully. But I am all about live trial by fire. So, let's get the plane in the air, and then we'll fix the wings as we fly the son of a bitch here. And flying is Jukka-Pekka Luukkonen here for the Buffalo Sabres. Lots of fun. Now, I said I think guys like Austin Matthews have the advantage. If you're the New Jersey Devils, maybe you're aware of a player named Jack Hughes now. He should be on everybody's radar. Not only is he smashing the Canadian version of Britney Spears and Tate McRae, he is Mr. America going out there scoring that goal in overtime. Whiny Canadians. That being said, though, look, Jack and Quinn fired, did a great job for the country. I just think that Jack at this point, the difference I'll say for this guy, and so I gave you Austin Matthews. I said I like Austin Matthews to play tonight and do well, and I think Toronto does find a way to upset. Jack Hughes had his teeth fucking knocked out of his head. So there's a little bit of a difference here, right? He cut his hand atrociously and he had to sit out for like 3 weeks at a steakhouse. He's now gotten a stick to the face and the right side of his mouth is just missing from a tooth perspective. So when the Devils didn't have him in there, they did tend to struggle just a wee bit. And I think that potentially gives us an advantage on the Buffalo Sabres side of things here. Maybe I'm grasping at straws, but Jack Hughes is grasping at his chiclets. They were broken in half. That just had to fucking hurt. Damn it. UPL was another injury factor. So going into the Olympic break, he benefited from the rest out there. Just his hip, his leg, I don't know. But look, the Sabres went into the break hot. Points in 8 of their last 10, 2.42 goals against average. And the Devils went into the break on a losing skid, 0-3 in their last 3 going in there. So I want to fade the Devils at home against the Eastern Conference. Right now, that has been a money maker. That is 195 and 142. It's cashed 9 times in a row. Taking a fade on the Devils at home against the Eastern Conference. That's where we're focused in here. That's a reasonable price tag. This thing's been catching sharp betting action. We know Tage Thompson. I called him Rage. First unit power play for this guy. 30 goal scorer for the Buffalo Sabres and underdogs. Equal rest. Cross division conference games are 14-2. Have cashed 7 in a row. Benefiting from the break. Allen, on the other hand, the goaltender for the New Jersey Devils, he stunk it up going into the break. He started out the year hot, hotter than a pistol, as J-Mac used to say out there. But 1-6 is 7 going in. He's got a 2.66 goals against average. His last 7 were 3.08. So Sabres team also had the opportunity. So you're looking at the bounce back revenge at home. I'm dismissing that for this game, and I'm going to fade the New Jersey Devils, and I'm going to take a crack at the Buffalo Sabres. As we roll on to the Jets and Canucks. 2 Canadian teams playing against each other. MMA Jeff says they go over. I beg to differ with this game. Neither one of these teams has scoring power. They both came into this All-Star break on losing streaks. I would love the Jets if they had Connor Hellebuck, but I think Connor Hellebuck's going to have a target on his back now. The Congressional Medal of Fuck is what it was called. And the highest award a civilian can get. Tiger Woods has gotten it. Michael Jordan's gotten it. You got to be somebody pretty fucking good to go out there and get that thing. And they voted unanimously to give it to Connor Hellebuck. The problem for Hellebuck is, yes, he took the travel. He did the same travel I just broke down for you guys with these other players, except then he had to fly to Winnipeg or Vancouver, I guess is the case may be. Neither one of them is an easy place to get to. Plus, there's another international travel on the radar out there, and you're going through the screening process. So I would want to fade the Jets if it was Connor Hellebuck that was in goal and take these Canucks. I still kind of like these Canucks. I just couldn't find any really good benchmarks out there. Just the underdog rest situation again. But how many dogs do I want on the card as we approach this thing tonight? The spot that I rathered is the under. You can get 6s. You can get 6.5s. I'm good either way. Tight totals, good teams versus shit teams tend to go under. It's pretty straightforward. The books don't expect them to score a ton of goals. They're not gifted and talented enough to do just that. The caveat there, Winnipeg could be in trouble. But when the Jets play sub 500 Western Conference opponents, the unders cash 23 out of 33 times. That is a 70% win rate in the past 2 seasons, maybe largely because of Connor Hellebuck. Maybe I'm putting a little too much into that process, but I'm going to take the under in this game here to kick off the NHL card for you guys. It just felt like neither one of these two teams really has much in the lines of weapons and offense. So that being said, Elias Peterson is the goal scorer that I chose for the Vancouver Canucks, kind of in tilt with what I said, where I think Vancouver wins the game. And then what the hell, last but not least, I like the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Stolarz is in net for the Leafs. Stolarz has already got experience. He played for, Florida before getting up to Toronto. Brought up to Toronto to be the guy, not so much the guy. I'm going to call this the Austin Matthews effect. Captain of your team just won a gold medal. Your team's got to be fired up. Stolarz has been back and forth battling injuries, but, he's coming in off of a 2-week break. Can't be much more rested than that. He had a good game coming into the break on top of that. So it was a 5-2 win against the Edmonton Oilers. So I got to give him that spot. And this one's kind of more gut than the science, right? We talk about the art and the science when it comes to the sports capping and kind of look, Lightning home games after big one. There's a break inside of here. And the variable, the X factor that you can't really measure and quantify is the Austin Matthews effect on your lineup. So as much as, you may look at that and dismiss it a little bit there. I mean, look, he's potentially playing. I don't know if he's in the lineup or not here, but from what I see, it looked like he was going to get going today. Now, obviously, Jonathan Tavares, William Nylander. This is where I said William Nylander doesn't even play on a line with Austin Matthews. Yet William Nylander's comment was, I can't wait to give Austin Matthews a giant hug. I texted him after they won that game and said, now go win it all. These guys are fired up for him. Matthew Nye sitting down there on the third line. Come on. Dakota Joshua was a Olympian as well down there on the fourth line. So there's Olympic blood running through the veins of this Toronto Maple Leafs team. And that's not to say that you don't have the same thing with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I just think it's different. Tampa Bay is going to get back in their wagon. They're going to do their thing. They're going to go out there and fire on teams here. But if you're a little bit more, if you're risk adverse, then take the puck line. It is Vasilevsky that's supposed to be playing in goal. But, down the lineup, the only guy that really is a variable, there's defensive issues for the Tampa Bay Lightning. 3 of their 6 were playing on the Olympic teams. Daustis, Hedman, Lilbert. So half your defense is out or potentially out. And then you got, the only offense that you really had to deal with because of the aforementioned issues. Well, Jake Gunsel, Brandon Hagel, Braden Point. I just think this is a good spot to bang in on. Not even the puck line. Just take a Toronto Maple Leafs team to beat these boys outright. Take the 2-1 score. And bank it for more, because I think this is just one of those art spots that tells us Tampa Bay's in trouble this game. Too much. Too many opportunities for us to get that cash. So that's how we will finish off. I'll give you guys that little bonus ad. And I put a full unit just so we're on the same page. I put a full unit on the +1.5 and a full unit on the money line. So effectively, I'm taking it at a +1, but I just think this is a good spot. This is a little sleepy spot for Tampa. And the juju is going to be running high. Now, I would say that we probably have to look to fade Austin Matthews and company the next game. But this has got a Stanley Cup playoff matchup type of feel to it. And with the coaching changes here, I give the edge to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So there's a little bonus play in the NHL. What do you guys think about that? Awfully quiet in the chat. Is it the new time slot? Is the new time slot throwing everybody off? I don't know. I am pissed about the graphics here. Let's go to this big battle in St. John's and UConn. The battle. Jay-Z said the battle. And as a battle it is here, a rematch. These boys played in MSG. I don't get, I was digesting this morning. And I was thinking UConn must just be ready to fire up, and they're taking these neutral court play these games because they want to be able to get themselves tournament ready. And so playing in your home gym with your home rim, probably not helping develop your chops to go deep into the tournament, right? And look, they know that. They've won back-to-back national champion. I mean, this team's a wagon. No doubt about it in every sense of the word. Now the line opened at 4.5. It's moved to 5.5. They'll be playing at the gym in Hartford. So the old Hartford, Connecticut, the Hartford Whalers Arena will be where they are going to be stationed and positioning this game. So you got that factor going on here. It is a rematch. It is a revenge. It is all of those things that we talk about for this UConn Huskies team. We know they played St. John's at Madison Square Garden. We were on St. John's. Thought they were running hot. The line functionality is amazing. And it's the perfect index spot for us. Index meaning if the team's a dog of 5.5 or more, and they're on a 5 or more game winning streak, you fade them. That's it. You're 59-23 in those spots. You've cashed 5 in a row, 9 of your last 10. And it goes back to the same reason that we took St. John's against UConn. Two good teams. The spread over 4 points tells you the outcome. It's 141-92. That's been a big winner out there. And then last but not least, we got to look at that revenge spot. Top 10 ranked home teams in a revenge spot are 36-15. I get it. I just told you. That's why I prefaced this whole thing by saying they're not playing at the UConn Stadium, but it is still a UConn home court as it's listed in the program. So for those reasons, I'm going to lay the 5.5 with UConn. I'm going to get frisky with this thing here because I think UConn gets them top to bottom, start to finish. Probably the margin thins out in the second half, but I like UConn. I think it is that bounce back revenge. And look, this team is getting ready for tournament time. They've only got 2 weeks left or so before they get into conference. And then so all bets are off. They are rolling and ready to thump when it comes to the big dance. So did I throw it out? You guys know I'm pretty high on the UConn squad here as a whole, and not so much on St. John's. I just think I've said my piece. And you know my piece with this thing. I think Texas A&M's a piece of shit. As we roll in, we'll see what happens, but I'm not going to look. Arkansas just had a shit game. Got to recognize it. Got to respect it. Got to look at the cash flows. I mean, there's a lot of games here, by the way. Be remiss not to mention Navy again. I mean, they've already won the conference, so I just think they're that much better than everybody else. They're going down to Loyola, Maryland. 6.5 point favorites. That's always a little dangerous spot, is that road 6.5. But we saw it last night. I still can't not. I mean, how can he not play Navy? It's just, we've been free rolling Navy at this point, and there's no reason to stop. Where are the Hogs? Where'd they go? Let me find them. God damn. A lot of games tonight. A lot of good games on the board on top of that, too. So, man, there's so many good-looking spots. And then you see Lafayette and Colgate laying 8.5 at home. You got to look at Colgate in that spot. That would be a little leaner, I would give you guys. Fuck. I'm scrolling right past it. There it is. 9 p.m. It is a line on the move. It's gone from 7.5 to 8. 55% of the bets and 63% of the cash have come in on the Arkansas side of the things. Total's moving to the over. Red Rover, she is moving to the over. But Ranked versus unranked in the old type matchup spot shows the ranked team does prevail 7-3 in its last 10 spots out there. And as long as they're not 12.5 points or bigger, this is the edge for the home team, the ranked home team. I mean, you want to go back 5 years. We want to look at some big data and still show a 56% winning edge. That's playing in on the ranked home team in a bounce back position after falling short the other day. Now, they won. They beat Missouri, but it's Missouri. They stink, and they won by 8. But prior to, they were busting teams up. Look they played Alabama. Probably because they covered against Alabama as I always look, in hindsight, Arkansas was not the play last. And it's easy to say, yeah, they didn't cover. I get it, dummy. What are you saying here? Well, listen, the road dog upset a top 25 team on their home court. You never back a team after that. Those are free squares. And yet there I was. But prior to that, cover machines are these Arkansas squad here. And don't matter if they're home or away. 18-9 on the season to the number. One of the best cover teams in the land. How much do I have to tell you about how I don't like Texas A&M? Now, they also covered on the road as a small favorite that last game, but that was against Oklahoma. Oklahoma stinks. They're not having the year they thought they would. In fact, you look at them overall, they're 500, but they're like 3-5 in their last 8. And I'll discount that Texas A&M win. How about that? They just came off of getting busted up by Tennessee on the road. Better team prevails. Ranked opponent. I'm going to take the home squad, and it's telling us a number 7.5s and 8s. Don't matter what you got to lay. I would lay it and play it. Also, for what it's worth, I'll shout out the under here. I know it's a big number at 170.5, and we do have reverse line movement, but totals between 169.5 and 175 this season. Right here. 49-17 to the under. Huge number. Remember I told you guys that sweet spot range? Let's cash 17 straight times to the under. Now, if you buy into that, I can get down with that. I like the under in this game as well. But I'm on the Hogs. Give me the Pigs. As we roll onward to a battle royale. Gonzaga, the Zags. We went from the Pigs to the Zags. Zigga-zagga. Portland against number 9 Gonzaga. Whatever. Gonorrhea. I don't know. But I had a real totally card. I mean, look, it's 27 points. It's a big number. So the question wasn't side. The question is total. What total are we going to attack in this game? The Zags should go out there and bust them up, but are they going to cover by 100? I mean, that's what we're looking at here. This line felt like it was low to me. When I looked at it off the hop, I said, this kind of feels like it's a little lower than maybe it should be. Like it should be around 170, like we just talked about with that Arkansas game. And because of that, when you've got a wide spread and a lower under, the totals go under. Team busts them up, runs them out the gym, spanks their bottoms, steals their girls, and all the other aforementioned opportunities that we can think about when it comes to it here. No, I don't want to be involved in the side. I mean, yeah, Gonzaga puts boot to ass, but I wouldn't be surprised if the backdoor cover opens up. For me, it's an under blowout city. Not even close. I had something. Let me see if I can find it here. I had something bookmarked. Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah. Basically, it was just reiterating the potential blowout factor. The blowout factor, and it opened at 25. It's moved to 27.5. Capper's looking at the revenge angle. Going to get run off the tracks here because this is just too big a number. I agree. I think that's a well put sentiment that I will share as well. Cheer, cheer, share, share. Hopefully our comments are working, boys. You guys are out there sleeping, putting the work in so we can get the cash together. But let's go to Seattle and Pepperdine. This is one of the favorite spots of the night here. Close off the college basketball card. You know, I could fire a couple more at you guys here if you want some other action. If you're looking to get involved, if you want to benchmark my thought process against plays that you're potentially looking at, Citadel's got to be in play. It's gone from 16.5 down to 14.5. Is 2 points going to move the number that much? I don't know. A lot of people like this SC State side of things. I can certainly get down with that. Vanderbilt's in a bounce back spot. I think the under makes a lot of sense in that Vanderbilt game. In fact, it was a first cut. It's come down 3 points. 84% of the bets, 83% of the cash are on the under. And the thing for me is it's that multiple losing situation that's coming out in this game here where Vanderbilt started the season off so red hot. And it kind of tailed off of their football season, but it's kind of washed itself out. And now after a couple of losses, they're pretty much desperate for a win. You can say, well, yeah, I know. The reason I say desperate for a win is because they need to get back to some of that confidence that they had as they get ready for the SEC tournament, or they're going to get busted. And so at home, they're 7-9 to the under. And on the road, Georgia's 3-6 to the under. You know what? Let's add that. Let's add the Vanderbilt under 164.5. It's always dangerous when I go back and start firing through the card because it's like, oh, here's some spots I like. I like the under in Eastern Kentucky against Queens. I like the over in the Texas and Florida game. And I like Florida a lot in that spot as well. There's a couple. That's a big marquee game for you guys to consider. Robert Morris is in a kick the shit out of him position as well. I'd fade Maryland as an auto fade just because of process. And that's quite a few extra added spots. I just told you about Navy. I would auto play Navy, even though the line suggests that it's potentially a fade spot for them in this case here. Providence has got a big under trend running. In fact, the under trend's been running so hot, they took it off the board. So consider that as you're looking at Providence and points. Could be the snow. Could be the weather that's making them not able to get to the gym. Got a couple other picks that I spit out there on Winnable for some of the best bets, the premiums, the plays that I went heavier on, some of the biggest trends on the board. I stuffed them over at Winnable to say thank you for those that are supporting me and helping me continue this journey here at the Sports Money Network. If you haven't done so already, you can sign up with a longer-term package. Use NY2026. It's going to be less than $1 a day to get 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months worth of plays. And I'll tell you what, I've been trying to put out 3 a sport. Look, I got 3 for golf. I got 3 for the NBA. I got 3 for hockey. I think I got 5 for the college basketball arena here this evening, but a mixed bag of my favorite spots out there. The under is going to be the play for me in this Seattle spot because it's been cashing. They're expecting a high score. Seattle's the favorite. They're playing an unranked team. They go under 100 to 40. If you want to zoom into since 2023, 36-7. They're 9 straight wins, 9-1 in its last 10 spots out there. This one jumped off the board first thing today. Seattle taking the under in this spot. Catch her while she's hot. You don't want to miss that play. What do you say? Is the chat working? Is this thing on? It's very strange. Have you guys been typing in the comments and it's not showing up? Mine are saying YouTube's rejecting your comments. Usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it up a bit. How could I be the fucking head aficionado of the channel and have spam? I don't know. Can't post comments to some of the destinations. What do you say? Is the chat working? Is this thing on? 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 Is this th Weird. I wonder if you guys are experiencing the same thing, because it's very odd that the comments would just fully shut down. And then it feels like I'm talking to myself. I mean, I am usually talking to myself, so it's not that big a deal, but very strange. Yeah, weird. Huh. Somebody put me on timeout? I don't know. We were rolling. I thought we had a good rhythm. Let's finish it off. We got 2 games left to talk about. 3 games in the NBA. I'll give you the added spot there. And it's a dickhead play. I know it, but I'm still doing it. It is taking the Houston Rockets. They had 27 turnovers against the Jazz the other day. In the last 3 seasons, there have been 30 games where a team committed 25 or more turnovers. In the next game, those teams are 22-8. The line's moving in their direction. Damn, I wonder what. They're not even showing up here. I don't know. Thank you. My man. Is it just me then? Since he's able to comment and see the comments, I don't see shit. Nothing. I haven't seen the comments since 5:15. That's weird. All right, well, listen. Let's just wrap her up. Let's put the bow on this MFing show. What do you say about that? It's good to see my guy Gonzo back and rocking and rolling. Let's do it. Let's talk to it. Let's get to some of this NBA clutter. Look, I got to take the golden. Yeah, me too. Stop you is the last one I see too. Can you make a comment in there now and see if it pops up? Fucking whatever. What are we going to do? You know? We're going to take the Golden State Warriors. I don't care about the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, and did it show? I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just. It doesn't show up on my side. Weird. All right. Well, listen. Bottom line. Road favorites. Second leg of a back-to-back have cashed 10 straight times. This is an ideal situation because they're playing the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies, we've been talking about this team. Now, generally, we want to fade the Memphis Grizzlies when they've scored over 118 points or 116, right? 116 or more, we want to fade them, boys. I do think this ends up being a lower scoring type of game. But I just think if you're the Golden State Warriors, you're coming into this thing here and you just lost to the Pelicans. Now, we were on the Pelicans, so it's not that big a deal. We cashed and expected that. They're really coming out of the All-Star break in very poor form. Just 1-2. They had that big win against the Denver Nuggets. But the same thing can be said for the Grizzlies. In fact, they beat Utah. Good job. You beat a team that plays at elevation at home right out of the All-Star break. They got thumped by Miami, 136-120. And then they play Sacramento and they bust themselves up against the Kings by 9 points. What are you doing, Memphis? So no, There ain't no Memphis hustle. This is a Golden State Warrior spot. If the Golden State line was like plus 1.5, I might pause. But even when it comes to a bounce back situation, historically, after a loss, they have bounced back. But not this season. They're just 5-5 in their last 10, the Grizzlies. So this team's just not in form that I want to back them. And now I get it. Draymond, injury management. Seth Curry, injury management. Porzingis, but I mean, look at everyone's hurt. Everyone's out. I still don't care. The second tier to me is as good, if not better, than the first tier for the Memphis Grizzlies. So I will take a shot on a 10-game winning streak and fade this Memphis Grizzlies team. And then last but not least, I got a double dipper. Set 57% of the bets, 64% of the cash have come in on the Celtics, plus 2.5. Yes, Nasty Nate. I know. I talked to my guy Shark and he told me I was crazy. Celtics smash. Celtics smash tonight. Jaylen Brown, question. But Denver's defense has been getting just nuked. They don't have the home edge they used to. They're sub 500 at home on the season. Christian Braun, certainly like what that guy's doing, but now you want to look at some recent parallels. You want to look at, they played recently and they didn't have Jokic and they still won. They win by 4, I think it was. And now he's back. So does that mean that they go out there? And yes, Boston's dealing with injuries, just like we talked about with Golden State, but some of these don't necessarily, I don't want to say they don't make a difference. Boston's on the second leg of a back-to-back. We'll give them that. It's a fair point. That Golden State Warriors game, I don't know. Denver's been off since Sunday, so this has been a nice little stretch of enjoying the post-Olympic ceremonies for these Denver Nuggets. Jokic's the guy. He had a triple-double in the first half of that game, and they still lost. So in terms of current form, yes, the rest, but the Celtics in revenge are 30-13. Big factors to account for the big man. Can they account for this guy or not? And I like this spot. I like the Celtic spot. Bo, you know what I'm going to say. There's a Gematria angle here. I wonder if that's what got us. Did we talk Gematria and that shut us down? Weird. Nah, what sucks is I'm going to have to go in contact support. I hate contacting support for anything. All right, listen, I took the Celtics. I told you in the revenge spot. But I'm also going to add the under. Yes, okay, no joking. They won by 4 points. They were double-digit dogs. It's not just revenge. It's wipe the stink off of your fucking face. They pushed your face in a pile of dog shit. And you got to be pissed. You got to exact revenge. But I also think the under makes a lot of sense here. Lack of superstar power is what it comes down to. Both these teams just want to, it's kind of like we talked about with that. Was it the Spurs and the Pistons the other day? Both these teams don't want to show each other the other one's hand. Just get over to this game and get onto the rest of your schedule and thump the teams that you should be thumping out there. When you're looking at guys like Jaylen Brown, well, I guess Jaylen Brown's the only question mark I really have for this game. And it's a late nighter, so you got to decide with that what you will. But I think there's enough firepower for the Celtics team to keep it within that basket. I do like the under. It's right at that 230.5 that I like to peg from a total number. So that is the way I will put the bow on the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't tell because I can't see any comments. So hopefully we can get that fixed up and right. But until tomorrow, you guys, thank you for watching. Leave a comment, post show. Tell me your favorite play. Tell me if you're going to tail me. Tell me if you're going to fade me. Make a comment, post show. Let me know what it is you're going to do. And then let's get back after it together tomorrow. Same time, same place, 5 p.m. for Pregaming here on the Sports Money Network. Catch my man Ramon Scott at 9 a.m. doing the morning steam. First look out of Las Vegas. Try to beat the books